Greetings, friends. This is Dr. Richard Marks, and welcome to A Murder Most Foul, The Life of a Hitman, a reading of my unpublished novel, In Chapters. I hope you'll enjoy it. Chapter 33, Then, Sharp-Dressed Man. As we entered the store, the stodgy salesman strolled up to us. He had that gay southern way of speaking, where you can't really tell. Good morning, how may I be of service? Gabby took over. My husband is looking for a top-quality linen two-piece and a dress shirt, preferably silk, and a necktie. Husband? After a millisecond of surprise at her using that word, I was swept up in the admiring glances that I was getting from the store's other salesmen. They looked at me like I had won the Irish sweepstakes. I guess I had. "Will the gentleman be requiring footwear as well?" he asked Gabby, as if I wasn't even in the room. "Yes. Why not something in a woven brown loafer? Italian, preferably," she said. "I've got just the shoe in mind, but let's begin by getting the gentleman's numbers," the salesman said as he led me to a platform while a bespectacled older man ran a tape here and yes there and called out numbers to his assistant. "Madam has picked this out for you, sir." It was a beautiful off-white, I was corrected, ecru coat and trousers with a dark orange and corrected again, burnt umber, dress shirt, and a thinnish black tie. I felt so dapper. As I came out of the dressing room, Gabriella, sitting in a chair, drinking a cup of coffee, probably that weird New Orleans coffee, looked up at me and frowned. "It fits perfectly. I love it," I said. The salesman started adjusting the suit here and there, and Gabriella finally spoke. "No, that won't do at all." "Of course, once it's tailored, it will make all the difference in the world," the salesman said with a touch of nervousness in his voice. "It fits fine," I said, although no one seemed to hear me. "Do you really think so?" Gabriella said, not to me, but to the salesman. "Most certainly, madam." The group of salesmen standing off a bit in the distance, but not so far that they couldn't stare at Gabriella's crossed legs, all shook their heads affirmatively in unison. "With sir's permission, we can take final measurements," the salesman said hopefully. "That would be fine," said Gabriella before I could get in a word. "Yes, my darling, I agree," I said like a drone. Gabriella gave me a wink and recrossed her legs. I swore I heard all the salesmen come in their pants at the same time. The main salesman then brought out a shoebox. "Size 9?" he asked me. "Yes," Gabby jumped in. 9 inches, she said with a purr in her voice. The salesman had fortunately not caught on to her nasty game and announced, "Magnani Italian handmade woven penny loafers in mid-brown. These are currently almost $200 off at $416. Just as I was about to scream, "$400 for shoes!" Gabby stood up, taking the box from the salesman, and said, "Please allow me." She knelt in front of me, her dress riding up her incredible legs, just far enough to see her black thong underwear. She stared into my eyes as she softly said, "Slip those 9 inches into this Italian luxury mid-brown," and she giggled at my obvious discomfort. I decided I'd try to beat her at her own game. As I slid my foot in, I let out a barely audible, pleasurable moan. "Oh, that feels so good. Tight, but not too tight. It's like this shoe was made just for my foot. It's the shoe that I've been waiting for all my life." I could actually see Gabs blushing. Even the salesman was starting to catch on to our erotic little game as he stammered out, "Yes, well, that's Italian craftsmanship." "We'll take them," said Gabriella. "Very well, madam." After the measurements, the salesman said, "How did you wish to complete the purchase? The total comes to $1,492. I thought that 3 days ago I was wearing a $5 suit from Goodwill, and I thought it was more than passable. Gabriella reached into her purse and started counting out $100 bills. "This will be available next Monday," added the salesman. Gabriella stopped counting. "Oh, I'm sorry. It's our anniversary, and I was hoping my husband could wear this gift to our anniversary dinner at Galatoire's this evening." "Oh, goodness, no. Our tailor is the finest in the South. His schedule is solid for the next 5 days. I'm sorry, it's quite impossible," the salesman said in that hoity-toity drawl. "Would you do me the kindness of explaining our situation and ask if he could make an exception?" Gabby pleaded. The salesman stared into her eyes for a second longer than would be natural, his mind undoubtedly going to places of imaginable bliss, not incontrovertible evidence of his heterosexuality, but close. "Madam, it will be my pleasure to inquire. One moment, please." He walked into the back room, and in a couple of seconds we heard an older man's voice yell, "No, no, no, è absolutamente impossibile." The salesman came back, obviously flustered. "I'm sorry, madam, Monday is the soonest." "I appreciate you asking," and she reached down and bent her leg to adjust a strap on her right heel. Again, 5 gasps in unison from the penis gallery. "Could I impose on you to allow me to meet the tailor?" "It's most unusual," he said as Gabriella reached out and laid her hand on his forearm. "But let me invite him out." A moment later, a shriveled old man wearing glasses with a loop attached came shambling out. Gabriella walked up to him, and in a voice that again made me imagine I heard 5 guys orgasm at the same time, said, "Buongiorno, maestro, mi chiamo Gabriella," and kissed the old man on each cheek. The old tailor was certainly enjoying the attention as he and Gab said a few words to each other in Italian. Then he walked over to me and said,
"Sei un uomo molto fortunato. Ti porgo le mie più sentite congratulazioni per il tuo anniversario. Ti auguro buona salute e dei bellissimi bambini."
"Mille grazie," I replied, although I wasn't completely sure what he had said. He took the salesman aside and whispered a few words, then kissed Gabriella's hand and retreated back to his needles and pins. The salesman scuttled back into the room again, and when he returned said, "The suit will be ready at 4 p.m. today." Out came the cash again. "No, madam, we've arranged the wholesale cost. The total comes to $769 exactly." Gabriella handed over 10 franklins and said, "Thank you for the exemplary service. We shall see you at 4. As we left, all the salesmen were racing to the men's room, hoping the memories of my beautiful wife would last long enough. I knew from experience they would. Thank you for listening to A Murder Most Foul, The Life of a Hitman, copyright 2025, as read by me, the author, Dr. Richard Marks. A new chapter will be posted each week. A Murder Most Foul is produced and recorded at Batavia Studios in Jakarta. This podcast and A Murder Most Foul, The Life of a Hitman are solely works of fiction, and any similarities to persons living or dead are merely coincidental. The music used in this podcast is the second movement of Franz Schubert's Piano Trio in E-flat, Opus 100. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please feel free to email me at drrichardmarks@gmail.com. That's drrichardmarcs@gmail.com. If you enjoy the show, please like and subscribe to the podcast and tell a friend. Thank you, and until next week, be more than you seem.